Hello, this is Brian Rezny, president of Rezny Wealth Management, bringing you an important update about the economy and the investment markets. Well, we're coming to year end. The equity markets, generally speaking, in the U.S. have done quite well year to date. As I always warn every investor, always expect volatility. When you don't expect a 10% correction, you'll probably get one. And again, even if that happened, which again, I'm not saying is going to happen, but we do get 8 and 10% pullbacks every single year in the equity markets, the bond market, real estate, gold. All assets have fluctuation. Just remember that. Nothing goes straight up. So often what happens with all investments, you'll go up 4 or 5 steps, come down 1 or 2, go up 4 or 5, and that's kind of how things work. It's actually healthy for the markets to have little bits of sell-offs, or the investment markets, in order to go to new high ground. One of the things that I've talked about repeatedly again all year, we're not in recession, and we're currently not headed for recession. Now, we do a lot of research on this daily. We look at the economy, and the big thing that every investor needs to realize is, what's the economy doing before you actually start picking investments? So it's more of a top-down approach at our firm. The economy is doing well. We look for the economy to do equally as well, maybe a little better in 2020. Will that translate into 20% returns in the equity market? No. We actually might have a year next year where the market's down 2% or up 15%, or maybe somewhere in the middle, assuming things are growing. But just because GDP, I should say, is growing, doesn't mean that the equity markets are necessarily going to go up another 20% in 2020. But again, expect volatility. Overall, the economy is doing well. Overall, housing is doing well, which is a big driver of the economy. Overall, businesses are doing well. The consumer is doing well. And again, I've talked about this repeatedly. Policies do matter, and the current administration, the policies that they're putting forth for all Americans, are working quite well. We're working on a trade deal with China. It may happen next week. It may happen 2 years from now. But ultimately, China's being hurt substantially because of, again, the policies that this administration is doing against China in order for China to come to the bargaining table and actually produce fair trade. Remember, China's cheated the world for decades and decades, and the U.S. is no different. They've cheated us equally, or if not more. So this president and administration is doing a great job, in our opinion, on foreign trade, and we're going to get a deal done eventually, because the Chinese are going to have to, because manufacturing is leaving their country in record numbers, and that will only accelerate if they don't cut a deal with the U.S. We've made a couple adjustments in some of our portfolios across the board. We're going to be making a few other minor adjustments coming up, gearing up for 2020. And again, we don't see signs of recession, but when we do, we're going to reduce risk within client portfolios. So rest assured, we're looking at things very closely. As always, if you have not been in for a normal review with the firm, or you would like to do a phone review, please call the office. We can even talk 5-10 minutes on the phone. We love talking to our clients. I know my staff calls every client quarterly, and we try to get you in at least twice a year for a review, if not at least one of those times. If you have any questions, call the office. And as always, we appreciate your business, and we always appreciate your referrals. Keep us in mind, and have a safe and profitable day.